friends, welcome to the shop. Today we're going to talk about tools again, and we're going to discuss what you need to start in woodworking. There are some very basic tools that you need to start, and very often people make the mistake of starting with complicated tools that end up discouraging them because they're either very hard to use and operate, or because the result is not as they expect. So what are some very basic tools that you need to start? Definitely you need a good hand saw or zig saw. This is a 13 amp, it is a Black & Decker, and it is corded. A cordless tool of course makes sense, but at the same time you don't want all your tools to be cordless, because they do suffer some performance issues. This is a relatively safe tool because it keeps your hands away from the blade and you tend to cut away from you versus towards you. It is important that you don't defeat this safety feature, because many accidents happen when people lock this and then, as the saw still works, move down and hit the body part. But in your beginning tools, a good saw, a good circular saw like this is invaluable, and I would definitely recommend it. Without any doubt, a handheld orbital sander is a must for your saw. I do have several, but this type that has the Velcro attached discs are very handy. They are very easy to change the coarseness of the disc, and they are very easy to operate. Again, while there are cordless ones, I prefer the corded variety because they are providing you a little more power and more continuity. They don't tend to die on you in the middle of the work. A good set of continuity testers. Even though I started talking about woodworking, in reality the channel is about do-it-yourself projects, and very often involve electricity. So a good multimeter is a very important tool to have, and I plan to make a video on how to correctly use a multimeter. Various rotated screwdrivers. This is one of my favorites. It has a grip, and very quickly you can actually switch between blades. Let's see if I can show you that. It has several and you can simply rotate them. Of course I meant beads, not blades. So this has a variety of beads, from Phillips to straight to hex to Torx. Now this is not, of course, for very heavy duty, because it cannot give you great torque, but most certainly it is a very nice tool. It is ratcheted and it can go backwards and forwards, and it is an inexpensive and extremely useful tool. This specific one is a Cobalt. Cobalt is a brand that I like. It is an entry-level brand, but has never let me down. It really has served me very well over the years. A nice multi-tool set like this is also important and invaluable, especially if you're working in small areas. This is a great tool that I purchased at Harbor Freight for probably around $10, and it is a dowel tool that allows you to make joints using dowels. This makes for very easy and strong joints, especially when combined with glue, and it is an excellent tool for the beginning woodworker in building cabinets, small tables, etc. Dowels are very inexpensive and very easy to find, and I strongly recommend this kind of tool. Even though I've been known frequently to say that I do not like to measure, and this is true, I do not like to measure, especially for beginning woodworkers, there is no question that having a tape measure is a must. Now this one happens to be an electric measure that right now of course is out of battery. For testing your cars, of course you need a tire gauge. Something similar to that is, this one is electronic, and it allows you to measure the tire pressure with precision. Strongly recommend something like that to do your own car maintenance. A great woodworking tool is a router, especially when combined with a router table. This specific one is a Ryobi, and it is very easy to detach the router if you were to use it freehand, but using it on the table allows the beginning woodworker much more flexibility and ease of use. I believe a router in a router table is a great beginner's tool, and I strongly recommend it. It gives you the versatility of making any kind of roundovers, softening the wood, cut laminate, and virtually everything else you need to do. Of course, a miter saw is also a very important tool and recommended for the beginning woodworker. As you start working as a woodworker, the important thing is to not start with very complex projects that might discourage you if you fail as you're building them. So in my videos I tend to put beginner, intermediate and advanced, just to let people know the skill level required for each set of projects that you're watching. In that way you will not try to do a skill that it is really a more advanced skill. And how you build your skills? Well, that is fairly simple. The more you do woodworking, the better you get at woodworking, and it is something like everything else. As we start 2017, I have a small reveal to make. As you don't know much about any of us, any of your woodworker creators, I plan to make during 2017 some videos about how to woodwork with people that might have some form of disability. 3 years ago I suffered a stroke that left me paralyzed, and still has my left hand working at probably 70 or 80%. So I had to adjust. In fact, I got into woodworking as a method of recovering and regaining my function. So I'm going to make some videos for people that might need some ideas on how to work if they do not have a full function of their hands. Your hands, of course, are very important, and the biggest problem I have is that I don't have feeling on my left hand. So I'm very cautious of how I approach projects to avoid injuring myself, as injuring myself will be very easy since I cannot feel very much of anything. For example, I cannot feel this. So if that was a nail, I would be very liable to press in it and injure myself. But that is something to come. So let's talk a little bit more about tools. When you're using loud tools, a good ear protection device is paramount, because you do not realize how much noise tools actually generate, especially if you're using them in a consistent basis. And also, working without any eye protection is an absolute no-no. So you can probably start woodworking with less than $100 of tools. You can start using a circular saw, a couple of screwdrivers, and a small router. You can find no brand materials, no brand tools like that for about $50 a piece. Maybe we're going to go out and look at them. I will take you on a trip to show you how inexpensive it is to start. So, as you can see, we can buy entry-level tools for fairly low prices. This example was an $18, $19 sander, a $19 jigsaw, a rather good Skill circular saw for under $40, $39.88. And as we move around, there is a jigsaw that was also under $20. And those tend to be either store brands or Black & Deckers, but they will do for starting toolkits. And here is a very nice Black & Decker for $30. That is a drill. I hope you found this small episode useful, and you're going to follow us, like us, and subscribe to our channel. Have a great day.